guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing well. If you are new here, my name is Nishitha. Please take a moment to hit the subscribe button and also give this video a thumbs up if you like it. In today's video, we are going to review a crazy expensive foundation. It's from McGRATH Labs. She recently came out with the foundation and this one retails for $68, and with California taxes, I think I paid around, how much would it be? I think it was more than 75 bucks or something. So it's very expensive. As you could probably tell, the packaging is also really fancy. So let's open this one. So this is how the packaging looks like. So this is the outer packaging. It's a cardboard box. It's really fancy. And then you have the foundation itself. So I accidentally dropped this foundation when I was swatching the shade at Sephora, and it did not break at all, which tells me that the packaging is really strong and it's not going to break even if you drop a couple of times. But it comes with a pump, of course, and you get 1.18 fluid ounce product, which is a little bit more than the average amount of foundation you get in other foundations. Other foundations you get 1 fluid ounce or something, but in this you do have 1.18 fluid ounce. So I was looking at the claims, and this foundation claims to give you a nice luminous finish, and it's gonna cover all of your imperfections, but it's gonna look natural. It is a light coverage foundation, but you can build it up to a medium coverage. And I was just looking at the ingredients list, and fourth ingredient listed here is alcohol. That kind of threw me off a little bit. Alcohol, that was a fourth ingredient. I don't know how I feel about that, but since you guys requested a review on this, I want to test out and see if it's worth the crazy price tag that it has. I want to see why is it special and how is it different from the other foundations that I already own in my collection, which don't cost me almost $70. So I think this would have to be the most expensive foundation that I've ever tried in my life so far. The one before this is the Armani Luminous Silk, but that is $62, whereas this one retails for $68. So let's see how is it different. By the way, the shade I picked up is medium 18. This one has neutral olive undertones. I know that's not my undertone. My undertone is more towards warm and golden. But the one with the right undertones doesn't match my skin tone at all. It's either too light or way too dark. So this is the only one that comes closer to my skin tone, but the undertone is wrong. So even though there are 36 different shades, which I don't think is good anymore, because even drugstore brands are coming out with 45 shades these days. So I wish the shade range was a little bit better, because I can't find a shade that even comes close to my skin tone with the right undertones. But we'll work with this. So I'm going to swatch the shade that I got. So the formulation is kind of liquidy. It's not too thick. This reminds me a lot of the, Luminous Silk foundation. Again, the consistency at least. So this is the shade that I got. Let me swatch it on my face. I know it looks a little bit light, but the shade after this is way too dark. It's too orange on my skin tone. So I didn't want to work with that. By the way, I do have a sample of the shade medium 19. So you guys can see, how medium 19 looks on me. So this is medium 19. It's way too orange in real life, it's way too dark. So I'm going to start working this foundation into my skin. On this side I'm going to use a brush, whereas this side I'm going to use my beauty blender. And the foundation doesn't seem to have any kind of strong scent to it. Am I crazy, or this foundation looks like as if I applied some Filt'r on my face? You guys see the difference? Ooh. And I used a very little bit of this because it was very easy to blend out. So the coverage is definitely, like they said, it's medium. If you layer it, you can build up the coverage a little bit more. So on this side, I'm going to use my beauty blender. So the consistency of this is a little bit runny as well. It's dripping down my hand. And I personally did not notice any kind of oxidization with this foundation when I swatched it. So I only used medium 18. I thought I was going to use medium 19, but I actually didn't feel like I needed to, even though the shade looked a little bit light when I swatched it. But once I blended it out, it doesn't look that bad. I still have to check in natural light to see if the shade matches me correctly or not. But so far, I'm really impressed with the finish of this foundation. It blended out beautifully. It feels ultra lightweight on my skin. It looks like as if I applied some moisturizer. That's how natural this looks. But it's still giving me a really good coverage. The only thing I don't like about this foundation so far is the alcohol as an ingredient. But other than that, I just love how smooth this is making my skin look. This reminds me a lot of Luminous Silk foundation. Now I'm gonna go off camera, apply the rest of my makeup. When I get back, I'm gonna tell you guys how everything layered on top. So I'll see you all in a bit. Hey guys, I am back. I've had this foundation on for almost, actually a little bit over 4 hours at this point. I applied this around 10 o'clock. Now it's actually 1:15. The rest of my makeup went on beautifully on top of this foundation. I had no issues whatsoever. The finish of this foundation has to be my favorite thing because it gives you this a nice natural luminosity, but it doesn't look overly dewy, but at the same time it's not a matte foundation by any means. It feels ultra lightweight on the skin. It looks very natural. It's very hydrating as well. I did layer the foundation in my cheek area to build up the coverage, and so far it's not looking cakey or heavy. It's not gathering. I have to say it is slightly cracking in my smile line, but other than that, I really love the finish and the way it's sitting on top of my skin. I'm gonna continue to do the wear test now, and we'll see how this foundation holds up for the rest of my day. Hey guys, so I just wanted to show you guys how the foundation looks in natural light. The shade at first, it didn't look like a really good match, and I thought it was gonna pull ashy on me. But as you can see, it actually matches my neck really well. I didn't bring the foundation down onto my neck today at all. The foundation looks very natural on the skin. If I was not wearing this heavy eye makeup, you wouldn't even be able to tell that I have foundation on. So yeah, this is my natural light check-in. I'll see you all at the end of my day. Hey guys, I am back. It's currently 8:15. I've had this foundation on for a little over 10 hours at this point. I'm here to share my final thoughts, and I clearly don't know where to start. Okay, let's start with the situation that you can see in front of your eyes, that I'm looking very oily. So after 6 hours of wearing this, I started to notice that I'm looking very oily. Even my husband, who usually doesn't pay any kind of attention to my makeup, even he could tell that I'm looking shiny today. And one more thing I forgot to mention was that before I applied the foundation, I used my Cover FX Mattifying Primer just on this side of my face. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but in person I can definitely see the difference. This side of my face looks much more oily when compared to this side. Please keep in mind that I have normal skin, and for my normal skin, it is looking this shiny. So if you have oily skin, I honestly cannot speak for you, but my gut feeling says it's not gonna do really well throughout the day. If you have dry skin, you can probably give this a try, get a sample, because you know it's very hydrating. It feels ultra lightweight on the skin. It's very natural looking, and even though I layered the foundation in this area, after wearing it for 10 hours also, it's not looking heavy or cakey. It has come off a little bit from this area, but other than that, the foundation is still on there. The alcohol as an ingredient in this foundation is something that was bothering me, so I went back and I looked at the ingredients of Armani Luminous Silk as well, and even that has alcohol as an ingredient. I think that was also like fourth ingredient on the list. When I reviewed the Armani foundation, or when I bought it, at that point I was not paying attention to any ingredients because recently I started to have my acne issues. That's when I got cautious, and I'm just being mindful about what I'm putting on my skin. So today when I checked the ingredients list, I checked the ingredients list on Armani as well. Even that has alcohol in it. The reason I'm talking about Armani is because both of them are very similar. I feel like in formula wise, and I prefer the Armani one a lot better because it doesn't make me look shiny. It just gives me similar finish and everything, but it costs a few dollars lesser than this. So I honestly don't see what's very special about this foundation. I don't think the price tag is justified. If you have other foundations in your collection that you already use and love, I don't think you need this foundation. I don't think I need this foundation because I have other foundations in my collection that will stay on my skin for a really long time, and added bonus, they don't make me look shiny. So that's my review. Honestly, I don't think the price tag is justified. It's not a bad foundation by any means. It's not making me say, wow, this sucks. But at the same time, I don't think it's worth the price tag. I'm gonna be honest. That's just how I feel, and I promise I haven't seen any reviews on this foundation because I just didn't want to be, biased in any way. But that's just how I feel about this foundation. If you like the brand, if you have, high hopes on this foundation, definitely get a sample, try it out for yourself. But I would say get a sample first. Try it out. Don't, pay the $70. If you use the sample, if you enjoy it, then go ahead and buy it. But for me personally, I don't think it's worth it. If I was not a YouTuber, I honestly wouldn't buy this foundation. So that's my honest review. I hope you guys found this helpful. If you did, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. It helps me out a lot. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye.